Okay, good morning traders and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we're going to go through any market you guys want to look at that we offer and can connect to in Bookmap, and cover the order flow, how to use Bookmap, how to read Bookmap, how to use order flow to your advantage. That is the goal here. Let's go through the disclosure. General disclosure: all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's take a look here. Typically, we look at the S&P E-mini. This is what everyone else wants to see as well. If you want to see something different, let me know. We connect crypto, stocks, and futures. All right, interesting stuff here right off the bat. We just had, as you can see here, some data, the jobs or openings from Jolt's jobs openings. Later this week, we have quite a bit of, data coming out this week. Beginning of the month is usually when we have lots of data, and this is going to move the market. All right, so for example, let's just take a look at this order flow in here. All right, see this kind of dark area in here. It's not the biggest release or most important. You'll see starker contrast when there's more data released or more important data released. But see how it's dark in here. Okay, this is due to news. The news came out at 10 a.m. and look at this area in here. See how they're pulling liquidity? Not everybody, okay, but you can see that liquidity falls off starting here, and then this is 10 seconds before the event, and then at the event, yeah, they kind of stay in. After the 10-second, these guys pulled their liquidity after the number came out. And let it drop into this liquidity down here. So being able to understand this relationship of liquidity and the market and how the markets function is right here in front of us. And this is what, this is why the market can move, is due to news releases, but people pull their liquidity. They want to understand what these numbers mean, what the data means, and how to react to it. And then we want to read the traders' reactions. We can read the reaction here that they're pulling and reducing risk due to not knowing what the data is. All right, so it's there in Bookmap. It's captured all here in Bookmap, which is really nice. So we can, really understand traders' behavior, and that's what we're after here. All right, so let's take a look at what exactly is unfolding here. It was an interesting move here in this S&P. I was watching it earlier this morning. So we see the move to the upside here, up into high liquidity here. These guys are staying in the order book. They've been in here for about an hour or so, and they transacted and went even higher. And then the data came out, and now we're quite a bit lower. All right, and look at the volume behind it here to the downside. All right, so something is happening here on the bigger picture. So let's zoom out and take a look at the daily, the hourly, and the 15-minute on the candlestick charts here. So I've got the daily now. Thanks, Aloisa. We were looking at the weekly last or yesterday, last session, and trying to understand what's happening on the daily chart and what are the areas that are really important. Well, the areas that are important are previous highs and lows, and this is why, because within a range, in this case a day's range of activity with the candlestick, we have lots of transactions, and if price is going to go outside of that day of all of those transactions from the previous day, it is likely going to do it on high volume. Right? It's going to break the previous range, and we'll get price discovery going, in this case, to the downside. And that is what is happening right now. Here is the day from yesterday here, and we are below it now. Okay, so we're below that low, and we are exploring lower lows. Where is the next area to test? So I'm posing the question, what do you guys think? What is the next area to test? Okay, and this is, it might sound simple. Well, then throw an answer in. Where is it going? And then we'll discuss it briefly. Okay, let me jump in here to the Discord chat. Good morning, Rob. Good morning, Stephen. Okay. No answers. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you. Sorry. 42.77. Yep, exactly. The previous swing down here, right? So we're still within a range here of other days, previous days. So where are we looking for a test? Well, in this area down here. Now, we don't know the volume down in here, and we don't know the order flow down in here on this daily. So there might be some high volume node in here that is just testing now, and maybe it'll bounce out of that. We don't know, right? Or at least I don't have access to that data on the candlestick chart. So we're going to look at Bookmap to give us insight on what might happen at those areas. Now, on the hourly chart, we can see it a little bit clearer here. We can see a little more, a bit more granularity, and understand that, well, we have, it's probably around in this area where a lot of buyers came in, to be honest. Yeah, I would expect to see some covering, or maybe some buyers come in here. Kind of surprised to see this big move down. We are in a downtrend though, and I guess the numbers, the market's reacting to the numbers here, to the downside. There does happen to be a gap that remains here from yesterday. See that we gapped down here, and when we opened up down here. We see this move back up to fill that gap. Okay, not entirely fill it, but partially fill it, and then we see these sellers come in. Okay, so anyway, that's what we're looking at down here in terms of these wicks on the hourly chart. Right? We would actually look for something in here, and let me just make this a little bit less. All right, that looks a little bit better. See this candle here. Okay, well, it's a big move, and if we go from the previous range in here of a previous hour, we broke it, and we went higher here. So we know that there's buyers in here that made this move happen, and down here, are they going to start buying again? Okay, or are we going to get profit takers on this move to the downside here, take some profits down here, and or get buyers at the same time? Right now, the low though and the swing is what we're looking for though. This 42.77, just like Sori had typed in there. Anyway, we're going to talk about today is market structure. The last couple of sessions we've talked about trap traders, and we can put that into the market structure as well. Okay, but I want to start with market structure. Unless there's something else you guys want to go over. It is essential to understand the market structure. Okay, so maybe we can even use candles today. Here is a market structure, for example. This is a sideways consolidation in here. Maybe I can even go a little bit bigger, something like this. Okay, look at the breakout of that structure. What do you note in this breakout in here? Okay, there's a couple of things to note. But this is what you look for when you are looking for it to break a range. And I know you guys know the answer over in Discord. Come on, guys. Dan. All right, thank you, Dan. I see you're typing. Come on, guys. I mean, this is, you've got to recognize these things. You've got to, I mean, it's just essential. No, not the not really the looking for the retest of the previous range high. Yeah, actually, that is correct. But what we're looking for on the breakout is volume and direction. Yep, Dave nailed it. Um, well, volume and strength basically, and movement. It doesn't. Yeah, direction, I guess, is kind of the answer. The question is, what are you looking for? You have a range in here. What are you looking for on the break of the range? I'm trying to make it a little more interactive, and also kind of coincides with the webinar that we had, the meeting on the Bookmap Academy last Friday. Okay, because we have to recognize these things. This is trading, right? And this is how you can look for something higher probability. Volume and strength, absolutely. Trading for a living. I think movement, strength is, if you mean movement, like yes. So we're looking for a strong move on strong volume. These two things. Now, this is failing here. It's a breakout, and this is very, very typical in here. We're going to go over it in just a second here. Okay, but we can see now, this is this profit on the higher time frame? Is it what we had discussed? Is it profit taking or new buyers getting in and then getting stuffed now on with the move to the downside and looking for a stop run? Okay, that they're trying to buy a reversal here and buy it on the cheap. We don't really know the answer to that. We can see, wow, we got icebergs going all over the place as well in here. Interesting moves in icebergs. Volume and strength in the move. Strong volume, strong move. All right, that's what we're looking for. That's what it takes to break a range, typically. Not always, but very, very typically. And this is a pretty good example. All right, now this is a small structure in here, but this is what we're looking for. Okay, now you see the high liquidity in here. It traded, it transacted. We can go in here and look at it. Okay, here, transacted here. Some of it pulled, some of it transacted. Same here. Okay, but this transacted. Right, and these areas in here, they're pulling, and then some of it transacted. And then we come up here, we take a break. We come back up. We find another leg higher here. Okay, this is your flag pattern in here. Beauty. Okay, and anyone who sold in here, we're looking for them to get stopped out up in here. Okay, now what we're talking about in terms of structure here is that the structure was broken. All right, but the bigger picture structure, is it still intact? Yeah, I mean, it came up and it went above the swing up here, and then we get kind of a small double top in here. I'll talk about that in a second, and it failed. Right, typically what we see is we don't even get this second leg in here. We may, but typically what we'll get and see in this kind of structure here is in terms of the continuation, is we might get the strong volume and the strong move. We will get a retest back up here, and we don't see the strong volume or a strong move, or maybe it's totally absorbed by high liquidity in this area up in here. So what you get instead of a reversal pattern and continuation to the upside, you get leg one, usually on the second leg here. Now this one broke it, but you can see basically in here, this is where it failed. Cannot make a higher high. We start to see the sellers come in, right? So now we're looking for what Dan had mentioned, the retest back down here. And is there support in the order book? No. Okay, we don't see, there's a little bit in here. It's not much. Do we see sellers trading through it? Yes. So we're looking for maybe the high volume node down in here to be the next test, or bottom of the range. Now look what happened down at the bottom of the range. Our strong move. Okay, this is a breakdown trade or breakout to the downside. Okay, looking and targeting high liquidity on the bid, right? So anyway, market structure. This is what we're looking for in a break. High, strong move and strong volume. And then we're looking for continuation. And then we're looking to see if it's sustained or not. If it is not, then we're looking for retesting back to the top of the range here. The point of control of this little area in here, which I can show you here. Not look at delta. It's right here. Okay, right there. And then look at how they see how the sellers power through that area. These areas are important. And this is you can talk about auction market theory and volume profiles, etc. You don't have to be dazzled by all of the kind of terminology and sophistication or whatever it might be of it. It is simple. It is the most traded level within this consolidation period. It requires volume to break that and to continue. Okay, and if it can, it will surely test, or very most likely test, the bottom of the range and maybe more. In this case, we get the bigger trend continuation here to the downside. So now we can even draw up even more structure in here. Okay, bigger, higher time frame structure here, okay, with a trend line, and see if we get our continuation pattern in here. All right, so anyway, so look for these things within your structure. Right, now look at this structure in here. Now we're talking about a higher time frame structure. Okay, after this data point here and the Jolts job openings here, there's no question who's in control of this move. Okay, it is sellers, and this was just we recognized it as some covering, a pullback potentially on the higher time frame, and we looked at these wicks in here on the hourly, and we looked at this candle in particular here, and then why we tested that area. Now we've come down and tested the low of the range, which was exactly what we were looking for in this bigger picture move here. Now sorry guys, like, we're here for the live order flow. I'm going over more educational stuff to really drive home these points in here, but this move to 77 was what we were looking for. Okay, and there's liquidity here at 80 and then at 77 down here as well. This is where we would expect a reaction as well. All right, and we're getting it. Look at the buying coming in. All right, so let's look at, again, structure here. Okay, now we don't want to reversal structures can be very, very challenging, and we want to be careful with a reversal structure. But boy, when you grab them, you can really knock it out of the park. Okay, it just may take more times to grab it and find it. Right, so there's a lot of it to kind of, for the order flow and the participants in here to tell us that it's a reversal. That's what we're looking for in here. Okay, so and it's not over yet here. We see the buying above here, but look at this breakout of this structure. Do we get strong volume? Yeah, absolutely, we do. Okay, do we see high liquidity absorbing all of that? Not really. A little bit in here and here. Yeah, okay. But do we get a strong move in here? No. So we only got one element in here. We got our strong buyers in here. Okay, so that's it. Now, this might not be finished. Where are we testing now? Okay, this trend line. What about point of control? And what are we looking for at point of control in here? We're looking for either sellers to push it through, as they seem to be doing here, okay, or we're going to get buyers off of this in here, right? So is this range in here and this little consolidation in here, is it going to hold? Okay, we don't. The jury's not out yet. We're right at that trend line in here. Okay, and here we go. We're seeing some buyers now. This is where, if you want to take these kinds of trades in here, just note that they are risky, right? And we really want to look for something solid. And I would say we don't have it here for a few reasons. Number one, we've got volume here. That's good. We didn't get a strong move here. It pulled all the way back to point of control. Dan had mentioned earlier, if we had a strong move and a retest to the top of the range, that would be more bullish. Okay, so this is more bearish, that it has to come down and test the point of control here of this little range, okay, or the most traded level of this little range in here. All right, so in fact, it looks like there's more sellers. This looks a little bit better here, a little bit, but not much, that we're going to test down to 75. All right, so this is where you have to be really careful, because you can be on the wrong side very, very easily. And what do we have in here that tells us that this reversal pattern is going to unfold? Well, we're looking at the transactions around here, and we're looking at the order flow or the limit buy and sell orders here. And we just don't have any action in here, right? They're down here at 75. Okay, where are they on the offer? Well, they're way up here at 91 or 90. Okay, so again, do we have something high probability here? No, we do not. Right? It would, in fact, it would be more probable to test 75, as we had just mentioned, but maybe we'll see a continuation through it here. Right? So anyway, we're watching and waiting in here for something that gives us more insight. Okay, so we don't know if the buyers are finished yet or not, or if they're getting stopped out. I don't see any stop runs yet. They are on the hook here, though. Anyone who bought in here that's not covering after the move down, they're on the hook and will get stopped out down below here. So yeah, I would still go with higher probability, and it's not very much higher, that we're looking for this to be the trap, and for the sellers to come in and hit into this 75 and see a flush through 75, maybe down to 70, and then maybe move back up and then through and then back up to 90. Right? So kind of a complex scenario here, but let me redefine it here. That trend line in. Okay, so as a line in here. Yeah, we're looking to see if we can get a move back down into maybe a small bounce and then into 70, move back up, and then a strong move back up into to 90, you know, something like that, and see a tremendous amount of stops here in this area here. All right, so anyway, we're just going through different scenarios in here and looking for one of these to kind of match some of the order flow scenarios we're talking about. All right, so we're back up into here where all these buyers are supposedly still in it. So these buyers in here, they did not get stopped out. Okay, so we could see a rise here and buyers take control of this market at this point. Okay, so we can even redraw a trend line in here, because this one is finished. Okay, and we can look at something like this now. And we can also make this bigger. All right, so anyway, in terms of structure, we know what we're looking for. We're looking for the strong buyers to either break out, or we're looking for a move back into and through point of control down here at around 78, and then into 75, and maybe a flush through and then a retest back into the range here. So yeah, here come our sellers. Now this structure here that we just redefined as the high being here was just tested, and look at the buying that we got here. Okay, none, very little. I'm looking for the sellers now to trade into and through 75. Okay, so I know that was quick, but this is the opportunity somewhere around in here, looking for that move into 75. Okay, because now we kind of know that there's sellers here. Once they can kind of push through here, that's what we're looking for. All right, and they're pushing through on volume. Okay, we have not gotten our stop run yet. Still looking for it. I'm looking for these guys to have to cover in here. Let me be more specific. Anyone that bought in here or bought in this whole range in here, but especially up here. Okay, now what do we have? We have high liquidity on the offer. Just looking for these sellers to flush through 75 and maybe down to 70. Okay, what I also like about it, we have the volume on the hook here. Okay, looking for stops. They'll be compelled to cover, and we have high liquidity here down at 75, which just transacted. Okay, and we're still looking for a push through and looking for a big stop run here. Okay, this structure here is still holding. Okay, it just tested the bottom of the range. Okay, so basically that's only like a 2-point move into 75, right? From 77 or 78 to 75. So a 3-point move here. Okay, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go through as many examples as we can in here in Bookmap on lower time frames. Even though this is only 3 points, that's a pretty decent scalp, and it will build your confidence that this is what you're looking for, right? For these reasons that we just outlined and pointed out. Okay, so I would take some off at 75 here, right in here. In fact, I like to front run just a little bit and get out before they trade into 75. I don't know if they're going to come in here or not. Okay, I'm still looking for that stop run, but maybe it just trades to here and maybe it comes back up. That's how I would manage the risk in here. Okay, these are not trade recommendations. These are concepts to look for in the order flow, okay, on all time frames. Okay, so look at the buying just kind of, inching in here and coming back to test this point of control. In this structure, in this time frame right in here, these sellers are still in control. Okay, in this move here. Where they would be out of control is up here. Okay, so we'd have to trade to 80 and through it on high volume. So we know what to look for in the structure, and we know we have different scenarios of what to look for. All right, let's see it, sellers. Looking for them to hit it hard here. I want to see the seller, see this buying in here. I want to see the sellers below here actually. Now if you don't see buying in here, you could trade it down to that area and then look for that follow through. That gives you a little bit more kind of buffer. Basically, it's a range bound trade, top of the range, or right in here somewhere, back down to bottom of the range in here. Okay, so again, something like a 2 or 3 point move. How can you see if stops get hit? Well, we have stops and icebergs here in Bookmap and futures. Okay. Let's cover this right now. So because we see the move back up into 80 here. How would you, if you were looking for getting in here, stop to break even immediately. This is one of the edges you can get in order flow. Just get stopped out at break even. Don't hold this and then pray. Why will we do that? Because we're looking for this to work immediately. If it doesn't work immediately, you just get out. And that's one of the edges that you can get here using order flow. And now look at the buying build now. Okay, is this a low volume pullback? No, this is higher volume in here. Okay, back to 80. Okay, back to where these sellers that tried to take control of the market now might be the fuel. We got our stop run in here. We got a few stop runs. Now let's see if the buyers can get the sellers upside down. So what that means, and scrambling, is all of this selling in here, any red dot that you see in there, will be covering back up above in here, back up to 90. That would be the scenario here. Now you can see we came back up here and look what happened. All of that buying here, we're even below it now. Okay, so clearly the sellers are still defending this area here around 80. Okay, and that's some heavy selling in here. Okay, it's just about equal to the buying in here. All right, so good. All right, so then let's see if sellers should be able to push it through now into this liquidity down here at 73. Okay, leg one, a bit of a pause. Now looking for leg two into 73. We don't have much in the order book helping us here, so we just between 80 and 74 or 73. So nothing great here. If these guys pull and add lower, and then we see some selling coming in, it would look a lot better, a lot better. And this is how to start to read the microstructure. Okay, within the structure, we're looking at microstructure. All right, here we go. Let's see it. Sellers right here. This is where we want to see them, down here. Nothing. Okay, buyers going back to the top of the range here, retesting these sellers' control from this point here and also here. And they're going to give it a shot in here. Now these buyers, back to well, up into the top of the range in here at 81 or so. All right, in my opinion, reading the well, just let's be objective about it though. Reading the transactions and the order flow in here, that edge is being eroded. Okay, we're looking for sellers to be in control. They're being tested here twice, and then we see the defense here on the sell side again in here. I'm not seeing them now defending it. So are they giving up? It's harder to read this here. There's buying and selling. It's really back and forth in here. Okay, so we're going to try to read this in here and see if sellers are trying to defend it at a point here around 80 or 81. Okay, and I don't see them defending it. So let's see if we can get our buyers back in here. Okay, and we're looking for order book to support at a higher level. And we're looking for our buyers in here around 79 or so. I don't like it either. I mean, I see a little bit of liquidity underneath here pushing, but I see liquidity up here on the offer as well. So it's not really telling us right now it wants to break out. Okay, we'll see though. We'll see if we get more insight here in just a second. So anyway, regarding the stops, how do we know that these are stops? It's market by order data from the CME or futures only, and CME group futures only. You have to have rhythmic data, and then you have to have the add-on that we offer for looking at iceberg orders and stops. See how that this kind of kept us away from this transaction in here, or getting involved into a trade in here. It didn't give us something high probability. We're going to stay away from it. higher probability, I should say. Again, you guys, this is a starting point to go back and back test some of these ideas here. Okay, here come our sellers now. And this is the original move we were looking for back and forth in here. Yeah, I still don't see it. I mean, we're at the bottom of this little range in here, or this swing here. And we see that selling cluster here. Okay, so now I like it better. Now we got something. Look at the buying in here. Okay, I want to see sellers here at 74. There they are. All right, sellers, let's see if you can take it down now. We got these guys as a bit of fuel here to trade into and through this liquidity down into 70 here. Okay, now where are the sellers? They're here a bit. Let's see them power through this here. Okay, I would love to see more liquidity. There's a little bit on the offer. Let's see what it does in here. I don't like it being up here, but there's our transaction. Now, let's see them drop through. There they go. There they go. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Maybe a bit lower here, but remember our scenario here. It was over here, not making this stuff up. We're looking for the drop down and maybe a move back into the range in here. Okay, so in fact, we're above these sellers here. We got our stop run. Now, let's see if we can get buyers up here around 75 and an order book skew as well. Okay, and drive it back to maybe 80 or so. 81. Okay, point of control would be first stop here, and that would be at 76.5. Okay, that's just one scenario. I mean, maybe we just continue to trend here, but that's what we're looking for. It should be the secondary scenario, to be honest. The primary scenario is continuation to the downside. Okay, we're looking for, though, a move down below this range, capture sellers, stop them out, stop out the buyers, capture sellers, and then move it back into the range in here. Let's see, Stan, can you explain delta for SVP? Sure. Oh, here they come, guys. So I moved my head away for a bit, and we get a nice little move. Okay, so now here's our range. I'm looking for them to drive it here, back up through. Now we're through the point of control as well here, and now we're below it. You can see how important these little areas are, this is where we look for battles to happen here. I'm looking for buyers to support it again here, though. This was good. This was good buying. It broke the range. High volume is back to where these guys started to transact here. So I'm looking for these buyers to support it here again. And we're not seeing much. Okay, they're up on the bid a little bit here. I want to see more liquidity up here, and then the buying I want to see up here at 75. Okay, here's they're testing it. You can see that liquidity flashing a little bit in here. Nope. Okay, so anyway, the scenario would be buyers up above 75 here. Order book supporting it. Here comes the retest. Let's see if we get our support here in the order book, and then back to top of the range, 78 and 81. All All right, buyers, let's see it here. I don't like seeing this underneath. It's dark. Sellers can whip it down to the bottom of here very, very quickly. Right here, buyers. Let's see it. There they go. Okay, I want to see them power through it, though. I want to see 78 and then back to 81 up here. All right, so let's take a look at our higher time frame here and see what's going on. So we were looking for that drive into the low of the other day here, which was last Thursday or Wednesday, I'm sorry, and September 27th. The test of that low, and then down here in this bigger picture, we're looking for maybe below the low here, and then as a trap, and then a move back up, okay, and retest back up into the range in here. Okay, the first test we're looking for is actually on this time frame here, on the hourly, probably around 93. Okay, maybe even 94, basically. Maybe that looks better. It would be to test back up to this area here, the bottom of the previous, near the swing low here. Let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get some buying pressure that comes in here. Okay, if not, boy, we're going to have a nice trending day today. Okay, if not, that's scenario number one, is the move back into the range. Scenario number two is, and I should reverse them, but let's just say scenario number two is trend continuation. Okay, and what is that going to look like? All right, so let's take a look. Okay, and I'm going to keep some of these drawings in here. I'm going to delete some of the others. Yeah, this is a trending structure now. It's not a sideways consolidation. Yeah, I really don't like that trend line. It's more like this is much better. Again, trend lines are structural lines as well. And we want to understand the order flow around the structure. And here's our continuation move, right? So we're seeing the seller. Sorry, guys. We cover it in all this back and forth in here, and then the nice easy move unfolds. It's kind of I just hate that when that happens. Looking for continuation. Sellers remain in control, and we could have a really nice trending day today. Okay, we're below or we're outside yesterday's range, and also we're outside last week's range. In fact, let's just take a look at the weekly chart in here as well. Okay, here it is, and then this is the weekly swing that we were just talking about and it being tested. All right, so on the weekly chart, well, 42.18 looks pretty good, so that's 50 points away. All right, so new area to take a look at in terms of structure and who's in control, right here. Sellers in control at this point here. Okay, and pushed it through. Okay, and looking for trend continuation. Now, let's add some more structure in here. Where is it too low in the auction? Okay, well, we're going to look at the structure to tell us. Okay, so we're testing that and we're below it already. Okay, so maybe we're just going to go exponential here in the move, right? Be like that. Okay, no reason to think otherwise that buyers are coming in yet. That opinion is now changing. We do see buyers coming in now. Now, however, did they break this small structure in here? They broke this exponential trend line. However, we are still here in this range in here. They didn't break that. Okay, we need to see them break that. That would be at 70. Okay, on high volume, and then we're going to think differently. But we remain with the trend until we see the structure broken. Okay, this will be, it's very testing of traders. Like you look for that reversal, and you look for the break in here, and like, you know, it's very tempting. However, stick with the bigger trend. It's so much easier. All right, guys, I'm sorry. Let me go back and check the questions in here. Anyway, we've been talking about structure and order flow within the structures here, and what to look for when for a break of the structure. And if we start to go sideways in here, then we'll go into really small structure. We'll find it one way or another, or we can even go to another. Hey, Dark Trader, welcome. Yep, got you a spreadsheet and signed up for the Bookmap Academy, Junior Academy, or you applied for the Junior Academy. Right, so see how this is like it did not break our structure in here. You're still staying sell side until you see something. Okay, so this buying in here gets scary, right? And you think, oh God, I'm gonna get stopped out. Stick with it until you see something else. Okay, I think I'm caught up on questions there, except for maybe Stan. You wanted to see the difference between bid and ask. So there's a couple of different ways, Stan. Let me just duplicate the column, and then we can split it out here. You can split out the data if you want. So here's sellers, here's buyers, or you can look at delta. Okay, and that's buy minus sell. You can look at it split out as if you like. I haven't found that very helpful, but I do find the composite helpful. So for the SVP, session range volume profile, this is buy minus sell. So this over here is buy plus sell. Okay, so it takes both of these here, the selling being a negative number, the buying being a positive number, and adds them together, and this is what we get. Right, so I hope that answers your questions. And it also shows you in here, we went through Froth's. He's a Bookmap Junior Academy member now, and his trade activity in one of the examples, and he notes that areas like in the profile, you can see who's in control. Okay, look at this point up here, and look at all of this delta in here. Who's in control? Sellers, no question, right? Now, that's in a profile though, and this is aggregated data. You have to note what this is showing here, because volume profile isn't the end all of everything. It is just a method, and it has its shortcomings as well. It is aggregated data on the horizontal. in a profile form. Okay, that's a bell-shaped curve that you get in your standard deviations and all that kind of stuff. Your you know, high volume nodes, your low volume nodes, etc. It's a limitation in here that you know, okay, this is doing a pretty good job in this example. Sellers took control here. Okay, I really like it here, to be honest. I can see it on the vertical here as well as the horizontal. Okay, here is where they really took control of this market, right? And then drove it lower. All right, guys, so now let's take a look at this. Okay, we broke this smaller structure and it's on high volume. Okay, looking for the top of this structure to test 69, okay, 70 potentially. And we might see now a pullback up here around 70, back to maybe 67, 68 or so. And then maybe continuation, and we might break this trend line. Okay, this is how to manage these moves here. Okay, so if you start to see like it within a smaller structure down here, a new structure, and the buyer's starting to come in like this, you know, that's how you can look for, well, I might want to take some off, or I might want to exit, and I might want to look for that move back into the range. Okay, that mean reversion type of activity. Okay, you can also look for getting out and then getting back in for trend continuation. Okay, but you don't have to sit through these things, because you can look at the structure and the order flow within that structure. Okay, now you don't want to overtrade, and you don't want to be shaken out of certain trades, but you don't want to give profit back either. So these are the things to watch and look for how to optimize your trading. Okay, so look at this now. See the second move in here? This is no different in here than what we were looking at earlier, and when this session started here. Remember, we started here with this consolidation, break, strong volume, pull back, strong volume. Okay, it even broke this here, and then it really failed. Broke the swing, but you can also see where the sellers came in this area in here. Okay, we don't have much liquidity up there. It blazed right through it here, here, and here. And then we see this retest in here, and the sellers starting to come in. And we noted earlier where the sellers really started to come in. Okay, and breaking point of control and breaking bottom of the range in here. Okay, this is very similar here. Okay, we have our strong move, and look at this. Even this move looks extremely similar to it. It is on lower volume than previously, and look where we came back and tested. Okay, let's just take a look at, let's put this data. This is one of the limitations of volume profile. Okay, let's look at the point of control in here. Okay, it's here. Okay, I should probably not call it point of control, but for this range, at least it's the high volume node. Horizontal line, let's put it at 66. Oops, I gotta get out of that. 66. Okay. And where's my line? Okay, let's try that again. 66. Okay. All right, so it retested that point of control, and we found some buying. Nothing great. All right, we're going to get something here. Look at the hold on. Look at the I was going to say the liquidity coming up at a higher level in here, and then retesting this. Here we go. All right, buyers, I'm looking to see if you can break this 70 and then make it back up into about here, 73, and then maybe we can get a nice big juicy trade back into like 78, or let's zoom out a little bit. 70, let's just say 77. That would be previous day or previous week's low. Okay, so looking for now those buyers to come in now. All right, so let's look for it. We see the skew in the order book. Okay, underneath, seeing them bidding up. Okay, and it's a little, it's hard read at the moment because we're not getting those buyers. It's a battle back and forth between buyers and sellers. We want to see clarity in here. We don't want to see red dots in here. We want to see the reaction to this liquidity as it repels the sellers and we find buyers. We also look for absorption in here, like here. Maybe they absorb and then we get buyers out of that absorption. Look at buyers absorbed here and here. Okay, great. Now we've got it. Now buyers, if they can get just a little bit above here, we've also got a nice trap. These are sellers that are going to be trapped and we can get the move up into our 72, 73. Okay, looking for it. Let's see if we can get these buyers up here at 69 and a quarter, 69 and a half. Order book is skewed a little bit, but I'd still like to see them underneath here supporting it more. No. Okay, we might get a retest back up here. Let's see. Or it might be, this is where we covered this yesterday. It can be tricky about who's trapped. Okay, we're looking at these sellers in here, and now even potentially these sellers in here. Okay, also here. But what about buyers? Where are they? Okay, and how will they be trapped? Let's look at this buying in here and in here, okay, and in here, and they're trapped, right? So we're gonna watch this closely in here because we don't really quite know right now. If the buyers came in here, it would have been really clear, and we'd look for it, right? Now it's becoming a little harder read here, a lot harder. Okay, let's see if we can still get our buyers up here though. I'm still looking for the breakout. All right, they're supporting it underneath here as well, trying to get it to break out. They got a lot of sellers on the hook in here. Okay, we got a stop run already, but I'm looking for a much bigger stop run now and a move up into 73. Okay, pullback, low volume pullback. Okay, let's see if we can get our buyers back up here. Again, not until we get buyers back up here. It's more trap selling in here, potentially. It's also more trap buyers in here. That's why it's not, we don't have the clarity yet. We don't have the clarity who's in control of this move in here. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, it looks like sellers are is becoming clearer now. All right, if we get our sellers down here, we should get a really nice move now to the downside. Okay, so we're and in here, like, God, it's starting to look like some sort of painting or something. Some geometric artwork or something. But anyway, here are the sellers really moving it. Okay, these are the buyers in here, and the ovals are on the hook, looking for sellers to try to move it now. And it should be a nice move. It should be a really, really strong, nice move away from this whole area in here. That's what we're looking for. Okay, sellers hit the bid hard here, 62, 60, down to maybe 60 looks good, 55, 52 in the figure. I don't see much liquidity here. It's more at 52 and a half or so, 53. The buying is, they're still battling here. There's quite a bit of buying in here. I'm very surprised the sellers weren't able to move it here. And we're going now. Now we're going to get our move here. Let's see here. Some strong selling coming in. It looks like they're all poised to move this. Let's see. I mean, we see the strong selling in here, right? That's the poise. The problem is, again, the fight. Strong selling followed by strong buying, right? That's the lack of clarity in here right now. It's still the same as in this area up here. You know, I thought we had them on the hook here, sellers coming in and moving it. They may still, right? So they may still. We're just lacking this clarity in here. Looking good right here. We're going to use the rectangle and then the oval for the buying. Rectangle for selling, oval for buying. It's equal. So we're still looking to see who's going to really take control here. I'm still going with sellers here. We've got a lot of buying in this area here, and they're just going to have to wash out quickly. Okay? But that's just opinion, really, at this point. Trying to get clarity here. And we made a lower low. The market pulse widgets, yeah, John, let's turn those on because I wanted to go through that. Trading for a living, this is very typical of you know, even on the most when the God, even back in like 2007, 2008, you know, when the financial crisis, well, 2008, when and prices dropping like, you know, hundreds of points, the pullbacks are super hard and super sharp, and it's not easy. So every time there's a lower low, you'll see these buyers come back in and move it back up. Yeah. So we're trying to you know, go with the trend here. And again, you know, market makers and other players that have to take the other side of the trade, they're, you know, they have a lot of buying power and selling power. So you'll get these moves back up, and they can be, you know, horrendous. We're trying to go with the overall though, and I'm still sell side here, basically looking for the flush through now more than ever now. Let's see it. They can do it here. And this is another reason why trading for a living, like we covered the trap volume. Okay, look for the traps and look for these small moves. So like these sellers down here that sold down here, watch these buyers like squeeze them back up to the top of the range here. This is a little different in here. This is not really necessarily squeezing. This is a battle back and forth. Right, so here's the squeeze we were just talking about, right? Anyone that sold in here, I mean, we're not making this stuff up. Look, you can see where the sellers came in here, right? At this level, look where the buyers are squeezing them above, and look for our stop run down here or up into here. All right, I'm going to clear the drawings, guys. It's starting to bug me. And let's see. No, the delta, Stan, the over here, so let me maybe the confusion is here. The current order book here is showing you liquidity. Okay, these are volume columns that are showing you transactions. Okay, these are volume profile columns. This one's liquidity though. This is showing you limit buy and limit sell orders, and these here are showing you the transactions by the aggressor, the market buy and sell transactions. There's a new option in here. And this was requested by very high-end professional trader. The COB column, you can right click in here and go to configure. He wanted to see it as a percentage of visibility here. Okay, and what that means is, like, right now from up here, this very top of the range, or viewable range in here down to here, would be, this is 100% of the order book, and then now show it as a percentage. Okay, so 4% right here is it's very similar to this. 5% is the most, 5.6 down here. This is where the most liquidity is, okay, in percentage. Now once I zoom in, it's going to be different, right? And you can see 7% now up here, right? So it readjusted to this range in here. Okay, so that's where the most of the liquidity is. Maybe play around with this view, maybe you like it. All right, looking for sellers to try to push it through right here into 62 and more. Again, looking for these guys, these buyers in here to be trapped. And looking for the sellers to move it down. And that's the move we're tending toward anyway, was the move down. Okay, and now we're looking for them to squeeze anyone in here that bought. That's what we're looking for. And we should get a stop run. And there we go. Okay, so there's a move into 62. Still looking for more here. I think there's a lot more room to run here. But I would take some off here. I'll tell you that. Okay, because this is what it's been doing, is like Stan or Trading for a Living is talking about. We get these moves into it, a lower low, and then a squeeze, a lower low, and then a squeeze. It's still trending though to the downside. I'm just looking for a bigger move now and a flush through due to all of this buying in here. That's the reason. Okay, and you can see why these structures work in here. We have a trend line here. We have a diagonal structure in here that is holding right now. Okay, so it makes that new low, trading for a living, and then here's the squeeze. Makes that new low, and then here's the squeeze. At one point, we're going to get this. You're not going to get that squeeze. You're not going to get that. You're going to get a capitulation by that buy side. It may happen. A lot of times it happens, I should say. Okay, so look, here's the squeeze right here, right above here at 65. Looking for a move right back up to 67 and a half. Okay, on a squeeze. It's not high probability whatsoever. Okay, I'm sorry guys, I have to say that, like, because I don't see other factors in here supporting that idea, that move. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if it's going to come up here or not, but if we get the buyers and we get the squeeze, that's where I would be looking for it to come. Okay? So it depends on like the order book in here, or where the trap sellers are. And it depends on a lot of factors. Okay? Now, when we have a lot of those elements that support the idea, that's when it is higher probability for it to work out. James, you're looking for a much bigger squeeze. That may happen. like way back up into 4,300 maybe. Let's take a look at our higher time frame in here. We may, this to me looks like it's trending. I would look for more the move back down to 24, somewhere around in here on the daily, or this is even the weekly. Yeah, this is the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, we're outside of the weekly range and everything. So I'm looking for a trending move today in continuation. It's already moved quite a bit. And see, 4,300 is back up into here somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. I'm looking for, look at the volume on this move here, and look at the volume in here on the 15-minute chart. Like, yeah, to me, it looks more likely for trend continuation. All right, so for what it's worth. But yeah, I wouldn't, see the size of the buying coming in. Maybe we'll get a move back up into the, this looks pretty good up in here. It looks really good. That was our 77 level. That was the low of, and let's mark it up. That was the low of last Wednesday. Well, you'll see, like, the buyers just completely come in and power it through, and this might be it. This might be it here. Okay, so we're testing that trend line. We're seeing tons of buying. We're seeing the order book in here support it as well. We haven't broken the structure yet. Okay, it's just testing the structure up here. Okay, let's see if we get it here. If we do, then I'm looking for buyers to trade here on up to about here, 69. Okay, through that liquidity, they'll take it on and trade right through it. Okay, and then up here also our 70 level, and then the ultimate move would be, well, in the shorter time frame would be up here at 77. I'm still staying, on this structure, we do not see it broken yet. It's going to be tested, though, by these buyers. And we're going to see if they can follow through or not. Yeah, see this guy pulling that liquidity in here? Let's see. See how sellers react to it. Now, here we go. I'm looking for seller. Yeah, there we go. Down to here. That's the first stop. Now, see, this is where that cluster of buying came in, somewhere around in here, 65. Can sellers trade it through there? Okay, or are buyers going to support it here at 65? Okay, we're getting an answer so far. They are supporting it. Okay, so now we got to see big buying in here. Now we're looking for the move back to the top of the range. If they can press through, I'm looking for it here. Let's see it. Am I going to go with these buyers or not? Well, they got to break the structure. All right, let me try to simplify this more. Like I always kind of go deeper and deeper into it and more subtlety in here. And I want to get back to Steven, and simplify things in here. And it's in trading, it's so hard to make something kind of clearer. This is why you have to back test it and study it, and so it's clear for you. And once you have that, that's your edge. Okay, so identifying like all these different things on the chart, that's a good step. It's a first step to identify and know these elements on the chart and in the order flow. Then start putting it together into a plan. So let's just talk about a plan in here. Let's talk about maybe this structure in here. Okay, so we'll end it with this structure in here, and then go through scenarios in here. All right, so exhaustion up here. Okay, I see a bit of selling down here. I know buyers are in control here at this kind of 65 level in here, somewhere around in here. Okay, and it's so far it's holding. Okay, so now do we get our buyers back up in here? Yeah, now they're testing it. Do they have it on power? There's our stop run. Okay, or is it going to reject up here and then sellers come back in and then trade through? All right, so it's rejecting, it's back in the range. Okay, so what to look for? Look for either support here or selling aggressors trading it through that area and the bottom of the range. If they can, we can even drop further. So the setup would be to look for at here. We need to see, be great to see a flip of the order book, this liquidity up here at a lower level, and see big red dots here. Okay, then it is most likely, more likely to trade to 65. This is where you'd be getting in, somewhere around in here. Maybe or maybe not, depending on the size of the trading in here. You can take some off at the bottom of the range or liquidity, and then looking for the continuation. Right now, the opposite scenario is what's playing out. Okay, the bounce off of here, the lack of liquidity. I'm sorry, not too much support, and in the order book, they're starting to support it now. Okay, and we do have strong volume here. Okay, beautiful stop run. Okay, low volume pullback. I don't see sellers yet. Okay, so we were on pause here due to this possible scenario here. Okay, now we're back down here. Now do we see our volume dots? Big red dots? No, not yet. So buyers are still supporting this so far. Okay, sellers coming down on the offer in here. That's good. Do we see buyers back up in here? A little bit. Okay, so again, we're looking at the break of this range in here, and now what we were looking for the potential move lower. It broke and accepted higher. Okay, so this is the potential new range in here. So anyway, we missed it. Okay, we missed this. That's fine. We're looking for this here. Is best, and I'm using Stephen as an example in here. It is best to look for both scenarios, and that can be tricky when first starting here. Okay, but you're prepared for at least 50% of the possibilities, and you know how to act. Yeah, I still like all day long, you know, we were looking for continuation and continuation and continuation, and it's been tricky with the order flow in these areas up in here. We just haven't gotten much clarity from the order book a lot of times, and these buyers have been fickle, or sellers have been fickle in specific areas. So we're still looking for there's potential for this scenario to still unfold down here at 67. Okay. Now let's go through and what does it look like on the opposite scenario? So we know what this one looks like, right? We covered it. We know what we're looking for down here. Let's see. Actually, let's see if we can get it here. Now the opposite scenario is the exhaustion down here, support in the order book on the bid. We get buyers coming in, and then we're looking for the buyers to trade back up to here. let me try to outline it. Okay, so this area, okay, and then we're looking for buyers up in here. Okay, and then we're looking for this move to unfold. All right, we'd be looking for support in the order book. I know it's dropping. I have to show this on the other side. Okay, we'd be looking for that support in the order book here, right? Pushing it and then pulling like this. The pull looks good, but we didn't have any buyers in this area here. All right, so this is the scenario that is starting to play out and look pretty good to me in here. We didn't have the order book though, but we have a lot of traps. And then they're starting to push through it in here. I'm looking for it to go lower. Okay, so we missed it here. We would have captured it here. Okay, and it traded down to, look where it went, this swing here, right? Let's see, do we get a continuation now? Right, so this would be the continuation move is what we're looking for. Now, Stephen, is this too much? Like, you know, to look for just a few things in here at these critical levels. Okay, so no, okay, that's good to hear. If that's confusing, then I'm trying to simplify this here, right? So low volume pullback, yeah, kind of, not really. I don't know about that. Like, you know, on this volume in here, we are looking for very few buyers in here to trade back up to retest this area here, and this isn't really convincing. So it's not surprising that we're getting another retest back up here. Okay, so now down here, are you hoping and praying for that move through? Maybe. I mean, you might be, because you know there's even more trapped here if they can get down below it. But again, like this is how to kind of reduce risk along the way. I would say, Stephen, I would recommend, and I recommended this to Alan and others over the years, build confidence. So start with a trade that is looking really probable and only take those and master it. Get all in and get all out. Don't worry about managing the trade right now. It's all in or all out. Okay, and then managing the trade in terms of scaling, this is going to complicate things much more, and we want to avoid complication. Okay, so high probability, if it's got to work now. We're going through a scenario and it has to work now, like this one here. It has to work now. Well, we didn't get it. Buyers came in and supported it, or they did up here at least. And we didn't get our sellers here. We were looking for it and we didn't get it. Okay, we were prepared for it though. We were prepared for it here and we got it. Okay, where did it go? Bottom of the range here. Take some off. All out. No, just get all out. Look for the next one and build confidence. Okay, once you can get this, you might even call it your trading career right there. Do this a few times every day, and you know, you'll have some losers every now and then, but you should overall be profitable. Okay, you have to really be an expert at exactly what you're looking for. Okay, then you can start scaling. Then you can consider other setups, etc. But right now, just build confidence. One trade and get really good at it. Okay, so it can be on whatever time frame you like. I would really highly recommend, this is a known thing in the industry. This is why Bookmap is really helpful for scalpers. Take as many of these trades as you can. Get good at them. The more trades that you take, the better you're going to get really quickly, and then look at higher time frames. Okay, reduce your risk. Take the stop loss at break even or +1 or -1 or 2, whatever. Protect yourself. If it doesn't work out and you see that it is not working out, you can also just get out of the trade at that time. You don't have to take a stop loss. You can be like a partial profit. If it turns in and maybe you got out too early and you didn't let it work out though, then that's something to look at. Okay, so then study it at that point. At least you've managed the risk. Okay, so here makes us look pretty good that we got, let's say we got all out here. Well, here you're thinking, oh, that was a bad idea. Like it's going to come down to 60 and 50, etc. Well, actually now it makes you look like a genius. I got out here. Yeah, okay, I could have got another point out of it here. But look at it now. If you held this, now you'd be stopped out at break even. Okay, and yeah, you got it, and you gave it a chance to run, but you're just looking for a first target. So build confidence and get out. It should work right away, and then look for the next one. Okay? This is a great way to get into your trading. And then, Stephen, you won't have to drive yourself nuts with it's too high, it's too low, it's another point of analysis to take a look at. Let me get back to some other questions in here, guys, on YouTube and also on Discord. Okay, Discord, I'm good. Trendy days are available to be your worst. Yeah, I mean, Kenji, like it can be really testing though, but just try to stay with the trend within the structure. I mean, this is inevitable, and then everyone kind of gives up. And then, it's like, oh, this is just too difficult. I've been stopped out like 5 times, and like it's an easy trending day. Yeah, it can be a challenge. I can get it, but I get that. But looking for that trending day is what we want, and you want to stick with it as long as you can. That said, to keep things simple, like take that idea, like let's put it this way. Take this idea of this trade here and get good at it, or whatever trade it is that's really simple. You see the order flow supporting the idea in the scenario. And then now you can look at I would suggest looking at other time frames and then looking for the same thing though. Okay, so get good at it on the low time frame. Take it as many times as you can. You can do it in demo or sim, and then you can do it with micros. So you're getting really good at it, but you have your skin is in the game. Okay, and then look at other time frames. So where are sellers in control on this this time frame? Well, we noted it. I mean, my God, they're actually way up here with a data point at Joel's job openings. Okay, and look at this move back up above here. It came up, it looks pretty good. It failed. Okay, sellers still are in control in this whole move in here. All of this back and forth and reading this and reading that and everything, like on this time frame here, easy. You're in the trade. Or up in here, you're in the trade. Now you're going to get tested, and you're going to give away like tens or 20, tens of points basically, potentially, and that's hard to do. The worst thing though, and this is why I recommend the lower time frames and scalping, because you get really good at it, and then you're looking for basically the same things on higher time frames. All right, so but now what you're looking for on the higher time frame, and these kinds of moves in here, you'll know how to respond to them better. It can be very challenging. that you're like, oh God, why didn't I take profit down here? Like, you know, it went another like 15 points against me or something like that, right? So anyway, yeah, just you can start to trade those other time frames, or at least start to look at the same concepts on other time frames. Yeah, Kenji, on the mean reversion trades, then I would really recommend that you look for that trap volume. Look for your setups, high liquidity getting filled. You know, on the bid, for example, in here, and then you're looking for where the trap is helpful, because this will really fuel the move, right? It's not all of the move; it's just helping fuel that move. And we want that on our side. So this is where we can see the trap, right? Look at the sellers, or look at them down here on a smaller time frame. See them here? Okay, watch these buyers squeeze them right now, up to here or up to here. Okay, right here. So you know, they just bought lower lows in here, and watch them pay for it. Okay, so anyway, like on those mean reversion trades, start to look at some of those ideas in here. Let's see it. Now, see, we're still trending here. Okay, now watch this though. That we have even more sellers here. So watch it above here. Okay, watch it above 60. Okay, if that scenario unfolds and you start to see that volume really pick up, your mean reversion trade is going to look great. You know, look for maybe 68. I would look for this one first in here around 65. And you know, even in here 63 before you get into it, that your first test is going to be up there. Okay, so you have reasons for your test. Now watch it here. Okay, look for that squeeze back up above. So we got these guys on the hook. Look for these good hooks. if if you can catch every move, perhaps you should enlighten us one day with a presentation. Yeah, it's boy, slow down. I mean, I know you're responding to Kenji here. I hope that I'm not coming across that, you know, oh yeah, you can catch this move, you can catch that move. I'm looking for something specific in here. And I'm looking for that squeeze idea in here. And that's an idea then that can be worked into your trading, right? So if it's a mean reversion trade, like, you know, maybe you have specific criteria you're looking for first. And I'm trying to cover as many different examples or elements in here that can add to that idea in here, right? So I'm looking for these sellers to be on the hook, and I'm looking for a squeeze here, and the move back up into liquidity and ranges. Okay. Hey, yeah, Kenji. Hey, I think you're in the academy, right? Well, we can open the mic for you if you like. Let me get back to YouTube here. Guys, and I keep talking about this academy thing. Let me show you what this is, this Bookmap Academy, if you guys are interested. I mean, here's our idea for that squeeze, and it just didn't happen. We were looking for that buying up here. We got some, okay, but the sellers came in, okay, and they came in here, and these are the buyers getting squeezed, and we can look for that stop run here. Again, I'm not trying to explain every move in here, or I'm not trying to say that you can catch every move in here. The idea of this move is what unfolded is easier now in hindsight. But we can also look for the scenarios and be prepared for them. Now, instead of the squeeze being, it's more or less the same area. So 59 and a quarter. Okay, if I see buyers back up here, I'm looking for a nice, healthy squeeze now. Really good one. Okay, much better than before, because we have a lot fewer buyers in here. for the squeeze lower, or a lot few sellers in here for the squeeze lower. Okay, now I'm looking for a nice healthy squeeze if we can get the buyers up here. Okay, so there's even more fuel in here now. Okay, this is a good one, and believe me, you know, there are traders looking for that, and we're one of them. You know, that's why you get these people buying the lower low or selling the lower lows and getting squeezed immediately. Okay? I mean, there's all sorts of players in here who provide liquidity down here, have to take the other side of the trade or whatever it might be, and you know, that's why you see these reversal moves, even on the most volatile times of trading. Like I said, God, what is I was trading the mini Dow, I think, and this was back in 2008, and when I first started to trade, and it went 1,000 points one direction and 800 points the opposite direction. Okay, and then 1,000 points again down. It was amazing, but the pullbacks were extreme. Okay, so anyway, look again. I'm still looking for, like, I have not seen a really nice squeeze, but I'm looking for it here, still up to here at 62, and maybe yeah, 63, I guess, as well, to test these sellers up here. See how you can read that? Okay, we read it a little late. We kind of got it here when we saw it again here. We're still looking for it, right? So, and I would take some profit up here. All right, now maybe you wouldn't do that, Kenji. You're looking for your bigger mean reversion trade. That's fine. You know, hold it then. Just reduce your risk. All right. All right. Again, this has been about structure and order flow within it, trying to understand all sorts of different elements in here, and that's what we've been covering. And that the Bookmap Academy, again, I left off there. So if you guys are interested, here's where to sign up. Go to this page here. I'll put it into the chat for you. You'll just need to scroll down here, read through it, what we offer in here, and let me know if you have any questions. But sign up for it here. And once you sign up, you're going to get an email that tells you to go to our Discord channel. Okay, and then in our Discord channel in here, well, right now I'm in the All Markets Bruce chat room, but you'll need to find the chat room for Academy applicants here, and then click on that and request, as you can see, who usually sends the spreadsheet, or they request the spreadsheet in here, right? And then you got to request it, because we need you in Discord. This is our hub for, I need you to sign up and then, you know, partake in the program, so we've got your email, but then I need you in Discord, so you need to have a Discord account or username. It's free, and then our Discord channel is free, but this is where we're going to communicate. That's why I need you in here. Okay, so that's the Bookmap Academy, and sign up. Right, there's a trade review that we went through, and we can oh heck, am I late for another meeting? I think I might have to go. Hold on. Okay. No, I think I'm good. All right. Anyway, we got to end up here anyway. Tom B is already gone, and I hate to inch into his time. So anyway, yeah, put that into the chat here as well. Shoot. Okay. All right, guys, like some feedback from you. You know, is this making sense? Like what? Like I think it's more to Steven, because I'm using him as example. He's working really hard, and he's doing a great work. I just think that it is opening up this floodgate of analysis, and what we can help with is more focus on things that are more important. And all of this analysis, this person saying that person saying this. So find something, just one thing, one simple thing that resonates with you in a setup. Now we're going to have setups here shortly in Bookmap as well, like a course on setups, and very specific. But like flag patterns, or whatever it might be. But understanding the order flow within it. Right now, like, we're kind of glossing over that, looking for a specific order flow that may fit a flag pattern. Like this is kind of like a, or head and shoulders pattern. Like this might be turn into a head and shoulders pattern, and Kenji, this might be your mean reversion trade. Look at, we see support underneath here at 60. Okay, I see buyers coming in, top of the range. Good. Like, all right, well then they need to come up. We need to see these buyers come up and trade up into your first kind of high volume node, which is 65. Yeah, slow down. I love this. I love your work in here. It's just excellent. Taking this from Wyckoff in here, and a Wyckoff spring, for example. I know you've been looking at this spring again and again. What I like so much about this pattern in the spring is the here's your trend. Here's all the back and forth. These are the traps. This is the spring. The spring is actually the trap. Ah, beautiful, just beautiful right here. Target, bottom of the range. Still looking for continuation, and maybe these lower areas in here. Yeah, this is very, very clear, very, very clean. Low volume node, holding. So this is the trap, and then this is where the sellers take control. Exactly what we're talking about. And look at the order flow in here too. Move up, sellers move up, no buyers, or not many. There's obviously there's buyers in here, but this is delta here, and here we can zoom in a little bit and look at it. Okay, in the delta, there's going to be buying up here, but there's more selling than buying, is what we're showing here in Bookmap. And look at, again, selling down here into here. This is looking good to break this and continue, and at least trade, well, down to maybe where there's liquidity or structure again, here, or here. Okay, in this case, it's trend continuation of a bigger move, so this move makes sense, okay, to power through that. I think we were talking about point of control being somewhere around in here, something like that, and we see them power through it, and we even see retest back to it here. So this is where keep it simple, but then continue to look for some of these ideas of why is it, who's reacting at certain levels to help give you insight. All right, guys, we covered a lot of different things in here. Good stuff. It's a trending day still, and even though we see a lot of buying pressure starting to come in here, hey, we might get a mean reversion trade. It can trade all the way back up to 70 here and still be in a downtrend. Okay, you can even have it come back to our 77 level and kind of curl over and continue to the downside. The easier look is a continuation here. It's outside of the range on the daily and the weekly, and we see more selling still. So still looking for continuation. All right, I'll leave you with that, everybody, and we will connect Friday right? So tomorrow's J Trader and stocks at this 10 o'clock hour East Coast time, and then on Thursday we have Scott Pulcini with futures. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, everybody. Let's see. Anonymous, I hope I'm helping you. Anonymous trader, prior to being taken, there's no way we can know whether other traders would have taken. Now, we're looking for, that's why we're just going through these scenarios and what it looks like when they start to take control. That just like what Slowdown had did. He knows what he's looking for. Obviously, it's in hindsight in that image, but you would have seen that big red dot or purple dot in his case. You would have seen it in real time. And that's what you're looking for in the beginning of that scenario. Now, it might not work, but he's looked at it and he's studied it, and this is exactly what he's looking for. And he's taken it now probably hundreds of times. It's exactly what he's looking for. If it doesn't work out, fine. Take the stop, small stop, look for it again, and then he nails it. And then how he's in the positive for the day. All right, I hope that helps, anonymous trader. Really trying to simplify things here so you know what you're looking for. Yeah, that's a good question for Slowdown there about Wyckoff. I'll let him answer that. Anyway, guys, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll catch up with you next or this Friday. Okay? Yep. Take care. Bye-bye.